Okay, start it off. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop! You're dragging, not my tempo. Start it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop! You're rushing. Start it again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop! Why do I keep stopping you?
Tempo?
Count it out.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 5.
Was I rushing or was I dragging?
Rushing?
Try it again.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 5. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 5 and a 5.
Was I rushing or was I dragging?
Dragon.
Starts right now. Oh.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power College for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in the New York Man Cave. The talk was of Kevin Stallings, head Vanderbilt hoops coach, who was under fire for berating one of his players after taunting the opposition after victory. You guys talked about some coaches that gave you a hard time. McLovin, has there ever been a coach that you just wanted to lay out on his ass?
Every coach I've ever had, I hated coaches. They didn't understand my brilliance as a hoops player. I wanted to be like Magic Johnson. I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to distribute. And I clashed, or I just wasn't good enough. They put me on the other bench. I hate coaches.
Yeah, I had one Little League manager I had a lot of respect for, and I finally won a couple of trophies with him, but he could be very difficult. He once, it was like 100 degrees, and we lost a game that he felt like, I guess we should have won. He put us all out in the outfield up against a wall and said, how many of you guys really want to play baseball, or are you here because it's some kind of summer camp and your parents don't want to deal with you in the house, so they had you sign up to play baseball, but you can care less about being here.
You guys should start beating him.
And then we had like a 7 a.m.
Beat
practice. We were like 9 years old. It was 7 a.m. practice the next morning, and it was pouring torrential rain. It was just a mess. And one other time I was complaining to one of the assistant coaches that I didn't like where I was batting in the lineup, and they ratted me out and told my coach, and when he showed up to the before the game, he made this whole lecture, and I knew he was talking about me, but he went into this whole tirade. If you got a problem with where you're batting in the lineup, talk to me. Don't be making little comments, and then he started staring right at me, and everyone knew that,
dude, you were a diva. Where were you hitting?
I was batting like 6th, and this kid that just came up from the younger league, he put up in cleanup, and I'm like, I was always batting 3rd or 4th, and it just didn't sit well with me.
What an ego on this guy.
I know. I don't surprise you. You ever played sports with Todd? He's a very nice guy, but he's surprisingly all about me on the field.
I was, yeah. I took that as a shot. I'm like, how did I go from 3rd to 6th? And I said that on more than one occasion, and one of my coaches decided to go tell the head coach, the manager, he's complaining about where he's batting in the lineup. And
I had a slew of pretty bad coaches. I had one coach who was arrested later on a bunch of child pornography charges, which was kind of awkward. Yeah. But I'll say my worst coach, was in like 7th or 8th grade, maybe something like that. My basketball coach for like the parish league that I was in, he would show up and he was usually drunk, and like him and his buddies would sit on the bleachers, and some days they would come in hammered with like a case of beer, and they would just drink throughout our whole practice. And it almost always ended where he would say like, all right, like we would do like a quick shoot around or something. He'd be like, all right, we're gonna run. And he would be like, you guys can stop running when one of you beats me in a race. And none of us could beat him in a race. And he would just run us for like an hour and a half and be like, all right, you're not stopping running until somebody could beat us in a race. Like, dude, like you're being a real a-hole right now, hammered, and his buddies are in the stands laughing and like, all right, cool, yeah, I love sports.
Well, you guys are in a safe place now. Has DP ever laid hands on you?
Yeah.
In a good way.
Well, only in a good way.
DP hit me in the leg really hard once. You guys remember that?
They're all love taps, though. He's never tried to even remotely injure someone. He can be very, strong with some of his words.
He's not shy about hitting you in the genitals.
He's
not shy about a little backhand tap. Cup check to the. I mean, let's just put it out there. The guy likes to bag you as often as possible.
Who is that, Lakers GM?
Yeah.
That was the first question I got when I started working the Dan Patrick Show. Who's that Lakers GM?
Mitch.
Yeah, I was
Boom,
like,
Kupchak.
of course it's Mitch. I was like, I know sports. Of course it's Mitch Kupchak. Bang.
Then Dan Patrick, legendary sportscaster, hit you in the nuts.
Yeah.
Well, one man who
The rest is
loves cup checks is Doug Gottlieb, and he reached out to you guys to defend the Vandy coach and gave a little backstory about what led up to the blow-up.
Here's a big win for a young team on the road. They had a couple players had a little back and forth in the media after their last game when Josh Richardson, who plays for Tennessee, said they were just tougher than Vanderbilt.
Yep.
And so when you win with class, and Baldwin didn't, and he was taunting a little bit. And when Stallings found out about it, he clearly flipped his lid, but the idea was to embarrass the kid and make him apologize and shake hands in front of everybody else, because that's coaching. That's what coaching is, not just about X and O's. It's about taking in a boy and spitting out a man. And Kevin Stallings also comes from that North Carolina basketball family, and that's what they believe.
Doesn't realize this.
I like what Gottlieb said there. I'm in total agreement. He didn't shove him, push him, or anything. Obviously, it was a poor choice of words in the heat of the moment. I'm sure there's parents out there that may get frustrated with their kid because they did something wrong, or they hurt one of their siblings, or failed some test, or whatever. And they're like, come on, I'm going to kill you here. Get it together. But the fact that he said, you could hear in the audio that I've warned you 100 times about this or whatever. He said exactly that there's a history of this kid taunting or teasing the other team. I had no problem at all with what the coach said. Again, I don't like the I'm going to kill you, and nor does he mean he's going to actually kill the kid. But if he felt like that was a moment to embarrass him, to really make him really get his point across that we can't have this anymore. I've warned you.
I kind of understand Doug's larger point, but I kind of felt like he kept shooting himself in the foot the more he spoke.
How so?
In that, you're supposed to take in a boy and spit out a man and teach them class and the right way to behave. And the way he's going to teach that is by not behaving the right way.
Yes.
And it was sort of like everything sort of contradicted itself, where he's like, you're supposed to teach these kids the right way to act and good sportsmanship and stuff. And the way that he does that is by embarrassing him on national TV in front of the other team and his teammates. And not it was just, that's not the way you do that at all. I get your intention, I guess, except that you went the exact wrong way to do it.
Well, the talk soon shifted to other world-famous blow-ups on the sideline, and how can you do that without going to Ohio State's former head coach, Woody Hayes, and McLovin gave his take on the former Buckeye.
When you first see it, it almost looks for a brief moment that Coach Hayes is trying to give him a hand up, and then he gives him a haymaker to the chops, and he goes in for second, and then it's just a melee. And he's not a young man. He was easily in his 70s.
He pops him right in the neck.
Oh, yeah.
He holds it, chokes.
But here is one of the legendary coaches in the history of college football.
How dare you in a show?
Yes.
That guy needs decaf, seriously.
He's no longer with us.
Too soon?
That was too soon for the Woody Hayes humor.
It's funny, the decaf joke wasn't really all that funny, actually. And Dan sort of bailed Andrew out there with the he's dead, and then Andrew came right back with just a hammer of a great joke.
Yeah.
Too soon. Loved it. Loved it.
That was comic timing, though. I knew the decaf line. I knew Woody Hayes was long dead, and I knew Dan, Mr. Know-It-All would have to say McLovin's dead.
Just like my dad.
I planned that out. Yeah. We didn't get into the dad thing, but I saw that coming from a mile away.
Nice preparation.
Boom. Look at you. That's producing.
Yeah.
That's heady. And if you ever need tips on comedic timing, you should go to Will Forte. He actually stopped by the Man Cave today, and we'll take a look at that as Will Forte tried to be photogenic. You'll love this stuff. This is the box score, and it is powered by the Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. Every truck can tow a boat, every truck can climb a hill, every truck can haul a trailer, but not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
Did it go off? No. Actually, the machine doesn't work. We just like to make fun of people who get in there and get their picture taken. Did we break the photo booth here?
It's not working?
Or
are we punking him and he's just sitting there?
It's actually just the bit. It's
Will
waiting
is
for
the
you to
only
take
guy that
pictures
it's
never
never
happen.
worked for.
Because of this movie
We are
role.
back
If I
here
had
on the
to,
box
not
score.
cut my hair, it wouldn't look that cool.
Seton, was this a broken photo booth a produced bit, or was it actually out of order?
No, I would love to sit here and take credit for that, because that is a good bit. It is really awkward seeing people sitting there wait for the flash to go off, and they're usually just about to give up, and they're like, hey, it's not working.
Click.
And then you get the like frozen face, like a weird one, and then they're like, oh, okay, now I get it. But no, that was, it is kind of awkward, the photo booth.
Well, before he left, Forte said Dan could have a cameo on his new show if he got the photo booth working. McLovin, is that an actual offer, do you think? Is that legit?
In Dan's world, yes, that was an offer that he will hold Will Forte to for the next 2 decades.
What about real life? What about real life, not Dan's world?
Well, who is it that Entourage, Dan not being on Entourage yet because the creator offhandedly said, yeah, sure, you can come on one time in the interview. Yeah. Dan brings that up all the time.
To everyone.
He's never going to
everyone.
What are your thoughts about Dan asking for roles? Well, like he has an actor, every actor that comes in, he's like, hey, so can I get in?
Do you love it?
I love it. I think it's great. And by the way, I mean, he really hasn't been cast aside from Salem. I think it was
no one else is taking him up on the offer.
He did have a star turn. He did have a star turn in basketball. Let's not forget.
That was a long time ago.
Does he have an exclusive contract with Happy Madison, or there's just no takers, and that's really?
What do you think, Todd?
I'm thinking it's probably that just no one else is calling right now, and he's just grabbing whatever Stanley movie he can get.
Well, there's a chance he may get on it because the photo booth did eventually end up working. Let's watch it unfold as we bring you
A box score exclusive.
That thing is going to, it's going to explode.
I know.
No!
Oh my God!
No!
Aaron was not ready. I didn't think of it.
Okay. No, there's another one coming. There's a couple more. Did it go off yet?
Yeah. Okay, I think I did it.
That's it.
I think I did my
Look
four.
at what Will did all by himself. Yay!
It is. It's so, I wish that we could get some kind of like, man, maybe we shouldn't have a timer. Because I've always thought I wish we could get like a little clock that counts down to like the next picture in 5, 4, 3, 2. But then we would never get that awkward like, wait, okay, is it happening?
Yeah.
Is it happening? I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna. Oh, okay, there it is.
Forte played Abe Lincoln in the Lego movie, and DP is going to play the 16th president in the new Sandler movie. Who do you guys have as the best Abe Lincoln between the two, DP or Will Forte?
Oh, come on, not even close.
Yeah, we got to go with our guy.
Of course.
Got to go.
DP's
Got to
gonna
go
be-
Dan. Although we haven't really seen him just yet in his Lincoln costume, but he knows how to get into character. And
I have a
gotta
feeling
go
it's going to be exactly like Dan dressed up like Abe Lincoln.
Pretty much. That's Dan
Hey, that's
Patrick.
Dan Patrick being Abe Lincoln. I think that it's going to be exactly like that.
You're saying it's not going to be like an Oscar-winning makeup, cinematography, like you're going to
really
have a
obvious
4-hour transformation behind-the-scenes
What
video.
kind of voice is he going to use? Like, does he have lines? And here she got like 4 scores 7 years ago.
I bet sometimes, Dan has had to do accents for Sandler.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually go well.
No.
So I think it'll be Dan doing
Accents
it.
never go well. They're tough.
I think Perloff would do good. Forte stars in The Last Man on Earth. It's going to be coming on TV here pretty soon, March, I think. McLovin, how would you do in that situation if you were literally the last man on this planet?
Oh, I've been thinking about that all day today. It would be awesome. I would, I'd miss my family, of course, and I'd miss the fellow Danettes and Dan Patrick and our great audience, and even you, Brock. Well, not really you.
Thank you, kind of.
I've been thinking about that a lot. I would never wear pants in the summertime. No pants. Pants are out.
I could relate to that.
Okay, so now,
I'd be very
interesting. Now,
depressed.
if you're home by yourself, do you walk around pantsless?
I don't see why you would wear
He
clothes
does.
ever.
No, I don't walk around pantsless.
Right. So isn't that really the same concept?
Yeah, but somebody can walk in on you. I mean, I think if there was nobody else on Earth,
Yeah.
But
I would.
But wouldn't you miss that interaction with other humans? So family aside, just any other human, when like the feeling of being romantic with someone, the feeling of making someone laugh or having any kind of dialogue, wouldn't you feel like you would end up losing your mind because you'd be talking to yourself? Not that we don't do that now, but like to be the only person alive sounds very depressing.
I'm married with 2 kids. I'm not exactly feeling romance all the time, dude. I'm just trying to get through the day, dude.
There's like no
Get through the day without getting in
no one
trouble.
else to interact with on any level. It's got to be awful.
Oh, maybe put up some cardboard cutouts, or maybe go over and grab the mannequins from Saks and have a party. All right, stick around. The guys were out in New York City, and the stars were out, and the energy was calm, submissive. quarterbacks become too much for the Cleveland Browns to handle, they call me in. I am the dog pound whisperer. When I arrived at Browns camp, there were several behaviors that I had to correct, but always with positive energy. Any quick touch? No, you make the correction. No, not the bathroom. No, the plumbing. No.
Ugh, playbooks suck. First, we take a selfie.
No. We do the playbook, not the Instagram. We are a quarterback, not the 15-year-old girl.
Definitely never been more focused in my entire life. I'm going to Vegas. Get it?
No, now here's calm submissive. Now we can watch the box score. We are back here on the box score. The guys were out in New York last night having a little fun in the Big Apple, and Paulie actually saw Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, be approached by a fan who called him the horse whisperer, I guess. Seton, has there been a celebrity out there that you wanted to go up and introduce yourself to anywhere in New York?
Oh man, yeah, all the time we see them. We see a lot of people even just walking by the studio that you're like, hey, that's the dude from Mad Men, or there's like some world famous supermodel, and you're like, hey, that would be cool. But I'm way too shy to go up and introduce myself to somebody. No way.
I saw Catherine Zeta-Jones. This was months ago when we were in the city. I was having dinner with the family like last fall, and part of me wanted to just go up and say hi, but I'm like,
hey, Todd Fritz, Dan Patrick Show. How are you?
She's with her family, and whatever, you know.
Thanks for taking the time.
What do you, there's really nothing to say. It just been totally, just to shake her hand and say hi would have been really ridiculous. And she's having dinner. She doesn't want to be bothered.
I ran into Amy Poehler recently, who was awesome, and I would have loved to talk to her. It was at a museum. My kids ran around the corner right into her lap practically. I had the perfect in, and I panicked.
Yeah, it's not. It's uncomfortable.
I mean, we kind of know ourselves
we kind of
as
know.
celebrities.
Yeah, sure.
You see people giving you the eye. They're like, "Can I talk? Can I talk?" And you're like, "Oh, God, commoners."
Yeah. Fritzy, who's the one celebrity that you would just go absolute super fan on if you met him in person?
I'd probably go with a woman, and I would probably say Adriana Lima, although trailing right behind her, I have a major crush on this woman named Camille Luddington. She's a doctor on Grey's Anatomy, and there's a woman named Carla Zusa with dark hair from who
What are you
How to
gonna say
Get
to
Away
them?
with Murder. No, I would just probably stalk them and say or do something very awkward and uncomfortable, and just
Are you
kind
gonna
of
do
follow
that
them
like
around for a while.
bottom lip bite thing that you do from time to time that's uncomfortable?
By the way, you can just tell the courts to cut this segment, by the way, in case there's ever any kind of case.
This is all being used as
Exhibit B.
evidence.
He talks about Camille Luddington more than he talks about his
She's
family.
just adorable. Luddington and this.
Would you get over
and
this
Carla
Camille
Zusa,
Luddington?
God, Fritzy.
Final episode last night of Who Wants to
How to Get Away with
Murderer, or How
Murder,
Do You Find a Murder? What is it called? Yeah.
How to Get Away
He's,
with Murder.
beautiful. But I digress.
Oh, okay, that's fine. How often are fan encounters uncomfortable for you, McLovin?
Never. Actually, people are always like at these things. They're like, "Oh my gosh, McLovin, I don't want to take any of your time." I'm like, "You kidding me? You want to come up and talk to me because you think I'm famous? Talk to me." Sometimes it'll like work against them. I'll be like following them around the place for another 10 minutes. I've even stalked fans before. Yeah, it's the exact opposite of what you might think. Especially if it happens in New York City, which is very rare.
Yeah.
Oh, if you come up to me and say, "Hey, I don't want to take any of your time," you've lost a half hour right off the bat.
Yeah, Arizona. I remember being happy about meeting Goob in Arizona. Goob! Seton, how about what celebrity in New York City has just taken the cake for you?
Well, I kind of turned into like a 16-year-old girl when Bill Burr was here. I was pretty like
You were so excited.
visibly giddy about that, which was awkward because he was kind of like,
Okay.
calm down, man. Take it easy, man.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, he kind of gave me one of those. Take it easy, man. But yeah, I really like that, dude. Yeah, sometimes there are people that I'm all like, Kobe Bryant could walk in, I'd be like, whoa, that's awesome. What's up, Kobe? How you doing, dude?
Yeah.
But then if it's somebody that I'm all like, oh my God. I wonder if they're gonna do this one.
That Chris Farley character. Remember when you said that
What a
joke?
loser.
Remember Phil Jackson was in here? That was one guy that was pretty
big deal.
intimidating to go up to.
Yeah.
He just gave off a vibe like, "Don't talk
Yeah, like
to
maybe
me."
I should just wave to him from a distance.
Yeah.
Or just go hug him, Fritzy. All right, coming up, the Danettes have made several attempts to go viral. We'll see which ones take the cake. This is the box score, and we are going to take a break and remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. Guts, glory, Ram.
Myra Ruiz decided to hang out with some of the local children and take a sledding trip down a hill and show the right way to sled to all her local viewers. Big smiles, big smiles.
Oh my
Bam.
God. Oh.
Now, Myra Ruiz is lightly famous because of this video this week. But look.
Watch your arms try to stop
smile,
her at the end.
Smile, looking right at the camera.
So the question is, do you want to be part of something that goes viral no matter how ridiculous you end up with?
Oh, we're closing up shop here on the box score. Going viral or just getting a mouthful of a log or a rock seems to be the key to success. Oh my goodness. Wow. I hope she's okay.
The arms down like this, and then that gigantic boulder of ice, when her face hits it, actually rolls back a notch. Oh my God.
Mass times force,
sorry.
I don't know, acceleration, who knows? I think there's a formula associated with that. Seton, what's the most viral moment associated with this DP show?
Man, I would say probably when we had Charlie Sheen on, and he was doing all the like winning and Tiger Blood and all that crap. That went on to become like a legit phenomenon that dominated pop culture for, I don't know, a little while anyway. And that all, like, you could walk by and see, you know, T-shirts, people selling Charlie Sheen winning T-shirts. And that all started on the Dan Patrick Show. We were the first interview that he did, and that's where he started all of those phrases.
Did he say winning on that interview?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Wow,
that was
weird.
the first time that all started here on the show. And I don't know that like people recognize that or not,
No.
but yeah, it was like right here. That's pretty crazy. That was a big one.
Well, with countless clips popping up all over the internet, we wanted to know what stuff you guys have been involved with that you thought might have a trending sort of trend on the internet. Fritzy, what would you believe is yours?
I would probably go with spooning with Chrissy Teigen while I was singing the John Legend song "All of Me" on the couch seat right here across the way in the Soho studios. Maybe when I was singing Rick Astley and Kate Upton was twerking. Those are just a couple of things that come to mind, which was pretty funny. But that's going to be tough to for me. It's
a pretty special
to beat
moment.
That's a special time. Right?
Seton, you got one that you think maybe made an impact?
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe singing with Darius Rucker. Maybe.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. I don't know, man. If I had a better memory about things I've actually done on the show, that would probably help the segment move along a little better.
That's all right. We know where we're moving with this one. We're going to go to McLovin and his very viral moment.
It's going to be a game time decision, but follow Twitter. You'll probably hear a lot more about it. But if I do play, it's going to be magic. Oh no.
Do you need help?
I just broke my glasses.
How did you break your glasses?
I was trying to spin the ball and it hit off the wall.
No.
Yeah, are you gonna be like the Hanson brothers?
These are like $400 glasses. I've never seen that clip before.
You never saw it right the first time?
By the way, do you know that year I made awful announcing? I made 2 of the most memorable sports clips
For that.
of 2011 or what it was.
Top 10 list.
These are the same year that the helmets fell.
Yeah.
So that was number 2.
That's pretty big.
That was number 2 of the entire sports
How
media
crazy
industry.
is that?
And number 8 was me dropping helmets.
That's just
Oh.
my son's helmet.
Gone downhill ever since.
I swear, we've seen that thing, 50,000 times, and every time I watch it, I find something else that is the funniest thing in the world. It's so multi-layered.
It's all about trying to feel for the glasses that are no longer on your face.
And like just the noise. Oh. So great.
Guys, I'm standing right here. I can see all of you laughing at me.
He is sitting right here.
I'm sitting right here.
It's Friday. We're making fun of him again with this.
I'm sitting right here. Hello.
I thank you, McLovin. The internet thanks you. Seton, who's on? I'm sorry, Fritzy, who's on Monday?
Yeah,
We had Reggie Miller Monday, but he's shooting a commercial, so he's big timing us Monday. So Monday's up in the air. We'll see how the weekend plays out. Reggie Miller Tuesday, Rich Eisen on Wednesday, maybe Al Michaels on Thursday.
Sounds like
Monday.
Brock might as well have asked Seton that question.
Could be a very restless Sunday night of sleep for me, but hopefully things will play out over the next few days.
We'll just air the stupid.
That's all. I'll do that.
video over and over.
All right, thank you guys. We are back on Monday right here on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. And if you're out and about and you want the podcast, it's available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Have a great weekend.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!